Hi there, Let's Talk Sports fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great LTS show. The Let's Talk Sports show by Mike has fallen down. Oh, I was in a tight one, folks. They were up 11. Get the rebound. She's fouled. Up 11 with 2.5 minutes to 2:50 to go. Can we hold it off? Hopefully. We'll see. I'll be live, so you'll be seeing me sweating bullets tonight for the next 3 minutes plus. I mean, it's 3 minutes game time, but we know that in real life, that's like 10, 15 minutes time. LSU has gone really cold from the second half, where Caitlin and Iowa has maintained. I mean, the third quarter they were going off, but can they hold this? Now 10-point lead for the next 3 minutes. So, we'll see. I'm excited for it. The men's Final Four is set. I had UConn. That's the only Final Four team I had that's in there. UConn, Purdue. I don't remember the other two teams. Nice. Let's go Stokey, baby. Let's go ahead and bring in the other guys so they can help talk about whatever the hell needs to talk about, because the only thing I really want to talk about is this Iowa game. I don't even know who the other two men's in the Final Four are. NC State, that's the team I'm really rooting for. Scott, our own Hall of Famer Scott. Scott, thoughts on the men's Final Four as we're here. NC State, baby, bracket busters. We kind of said it. Hey, maybe it's one of them, survive and advance type deals for NC State. There's a team that should have not even been here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they went from losing your last 4 regular season games to the coach being basically fired once they lost, to running the table in the ACC tournament with North Carolina and Duke beating both of those teams, and now they're in the Final Four. So this guy is going to probably get a 4 or 5 year deal. Well,
he got an extension after he won the ACC tournament. They were saying this morning. I didn't obviously wasn't in a whole lot of tension of the early rounds of the ACC tournament, right? But I guess them and Virginia went into overtime, and maybe that first game of the ACC tournament. And had they lost that game, you know what I mean? Like, they're out, season's over, and here they survived that game, and now they're in the Final Four.
So NC State was down by 3 against – what's up, Daniel? NC State was down to Virginia by 3 with like 6 seconds left and had an out-of-bounds play. They banked in a three-pointer, and it's, so to speak, the rest is history. I mean, it's just insane, NC State. It's so insane and so improbable. Alabama too. Those two teams have never been in the Alabama's never been in the Final Four before. Yeah,
that's the other two teams, Alabama and NC State. What's this first time since Jimmy V's?
Yeah. And what I saw on Saturday, because I was at the game, good luck, Alabama. It's not gonna be.
I mean, I said it after the first weekend. UConn, I mean, Illinois kept them with a good first half, but after that, they went 50 minutes real time and didn't even score an hour of not scoring a single point.
Basically, what UConn says is, okay, we're done playing. Now we're going to put you away. And it was 23-23, and in 6 minutes of game action, UConn put a 30-0 run on Illinois.
So is it Illinois? It's UConn and Houston versus Purdue and NC State, right?
UConn is playing Alabama. First game is Purdue and NC State, which Zach Edey against DJ Burns is going to be.
What are we doing? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. DJJ and Zach versus Zach Edey. That's going to be a matchup down low.
DJ Burns, he's 280 pounds of complete wall. I don't know what Edey's going to do. Edey. I watched Edey play Sunday.
Ooh, Angel Reese fouled out. Sorry, Scott. Na. Hey. Goodbye.
I'm not watching the game, but is Caitlin Clark doing the John Cena to Angel Reese? You can't see me.
She just fouled out. She tried to take a charge and just fouled out.
I got UConn and Iowa in a parlay tonight, women's. I was just watching a thing before we started. I'll name drop remember the coach from the WWE. He's now a betting guy. They have a betting show. The guy named
Jonathan Coachman.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a guy on there that's keying on the sports books. He said the Iowa LSU game tonight took in more money than half the NBA basketball games and all of the MLB games tonight. So this was a heavily bet game.
Yes.
Tonight.
I think somebody said it's probably the most watched women's game ever.
I
would probably agree to that. And
then the second game isn't nothing to be sneezed at either. It's UConn and USC. And USC has a freshman that's really, really good. So UConn's got their hands full tonight.
We'll go ahead and we'll bring in our own Mr. First Down as well. Sam, what's up, my man?
How we doing, guys?
Oh, Stolke fouled out here. It looks like she was just running down the court and ran right over somebody.
Nick's going to be in the cold tub tonight shooting a video on Caitlin Clark in the Iowa women's team.
Not tonight, Scott. We're due for tornadoes. So late tonight,
it comes my way tomorrow, so I feel you.
We're getting hit struck with some pretty bad thunderstorms late tonight here. Probably when we get off the air to maybe 1, 2 in the morning. So
yeah, we're getting 6 inches of snow up here in the Mass area. So.
Snow? Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm serious. 6 inches of snow we're supposed to get in a lot of parts of Massachusetts. April Fool's Day.
Nah.
No, it's coming, but it's the April Fool's joke is from Mother Nature.
It was 75, 80 degrees here, Scott, over the weekend. I was hanging out on my back deck and grilling, having a nice, lovely weekend.
It was 63 degrees here today, and it's going to snow on Wednesday. So, go figure.
Sam, thoughts on your Tennessee outed yesterday in the Elite Eight? First time filling out your bracket, and you done pretty well for yourself, kid. You done good, kids.
Thank you. I was really nervous, but I don't know. You kind of go with your gut on some of them, even though but you have to get I don't have the same feel that you guys have for the coaches and the players and everything.
Sometimes that worked out to your benefit because it did not work out well for me.
Right.
So.
But sometimes you so I'm reading up on these things. And then at the end of the articles, it's always but who really knows? You know what I mean? And you're stuck there and kind of in limbo having to make a decision. But hey, it worked out. It worked out. Also, my Guardians went 3-1 against the Oakland A's. I wish they had swept it, but it's a 160-game season, and they kind of cashed it in on that last game. But that's how it is.
My Cubs won today. They're now 2-2. Rough series against the Rangers, the defending champs. But what do you expect? So
boo. How about Mike Trout with 2 homers though for the Angels? 400.
I think you're going to get a lot of that. A lot of home runs and nothing in losses.
And losses, yeah. I know. It's still fun to watch.
I mean, you can't gather a great deal on baseball, but you can look at the teams that are bad and say they're really bad. Like the Rockies, they're really bad. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And the Cubs have them today. So
the fact that we lost that last game to the A's, even after tying it up at the top of the 8th. I mean, they had us dead to rights, and our horrible bullpen somehow and some lucky hits got us back in the game. And it was off of errors, just horrible infield errors and outfield errors. And I was like, God, the A's are so bad.
So ready for this? I'm watching a show this morning. The local cable company has a show called Follow the Money. It's based out of Las Vegas. Las Vegas doesn't want the A's. They don't want. There's no talk of the A's at all. They don't want them.
Their owner said that, or the mayor said you better take that shit someplace else.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Now there's no talk of the A's wanting the A's in Vegas. It's just zero talk. They want them to go to Nashville, Seattle, wherever the next round of expansion
Portland.
is.
I feel like
Vegas.
Portland. Yeah.
Portland. Yeah. It's just like, Sam, do you want the A's in Nashville?
No, not after what I saw. I mean, their fans were in the parking lot in protest, still watching the game, but not in their opening day. And there's like a little over 1,000 there. It was really
not
bad.
even. I think inside the stadium, you know what I mean. Like it's maybe a couple hundred.
I saw on Twitter to go with Nick's number. 225 people were in the stadium opening day for that game.
Horrible.
It's
Horrible.
awful. It's awful.
It's so bad.
Well, fans, I feel bad for the fans.
At what point do you think there's a point to where like ownership or somebody get together with whoever owns the A's and says you're gonna have to do something, bud, because this is just horrendous.
The commissioner. I blame the commissioner for this.
Yeah,
I blame Rob Manfred. It's all on his feet right now because
it's part of the A's owner too. The way they handle business. Nobody wants to bring in an organization that's just awful.
No.
You know what I mean? Like even if they went to Las Vegas, like they're still awful. They're still off. Like they're still bad. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, is the Oakland A's owner going to the Vegas people and saying, "Hey, when we get to Vegas, we're going to spend money"?
Yeah.
Well, how can you trust this guy?
They haven't spent money in 2 decades. You know what I mean?
They wanted out of Oakland so bad that it's like
even then, like even it's probably been 3 decades. You got to think even since I guess 2 decades really, but because even their good teams when they were good, you know, when they had Mulder, Zito, even the Giambi, like
early 2000s.
Those were all homegrown guys. They didn't go out and buy those guys, and then they all left because they didn't keep anybody. You know, I mean, man, they had some guys like Miguel Tejada. Like, I'm just trying to think of, some really good A's players that when they were making runs to the playoffs, and then just they couldn't.
The Braves poached 2 guys from the A's: Sean Murphy, the catcher, and Matt Olson, the first baseman.
Yeah,
I mean, those 2 guys were in Oakland. They were homegrown products.
Yeah,
just couldn't pay them. Didn't want to pay them. So,
not even that they couldn't. I mean, they could. They just didn't even. Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. And they take single A players for them, and that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You can't win that. You can't win that way.
No, you can't at all. So.
Oh, sure can't.
But at least Sam's got in first place.
I'll take it. For the moment, for the couple of days.
Yeah, now they got a good series in Seattle this weekend.
Yeah, I hope it works out. You just want something. Like, I know it's the A's and they're horrible or whatever. You just want them. You want them to build on something. You just want something tangible. If I want Kwan and Ramirez to just take care of business whenever they can and make it work. Now, like, I have to remember it's baseball, no longer football season. And they kind of walked that game away, the last one against the A's, and it just bugs me. I'm like, well, I want to win it. And they're like, it's a 160-game season, Sam. Just take it easy. It's going to be fine. And
that's the whole thing with baseball. Yeah. With football, it's okay. You only get 17. You only get 17 of these, and you better win as many as you can. With baseball, it's like, all right, we can take a day off.
Oh, I know. I was like, this bullpen sucks. Oh man, but yeah, it's all part of it. Just the dynamic of shifting over. I did think it was cool though. My wife's a Pirates fan, as you know, and I've been hearing 5-0 chants throughout the house. So,
the Pirates do. I mean, even Jonathan, they got some young talent. That Skier's kid that's going to come up. He's going to be a stud. Scott, I want to get back. What the fuck, Jesus? They got about a 4-point play here. What are we doing? That was a bad foul. If now they're up 10 with 35 seconds left, should win. I'm a little nervous to me that beating LSU in the Elite Eight won't. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't want that to be the mountaintop. You know what I mean?
The pinnacle. Yeah.
We beat the team that beat us last year in the championship game. Can we win 2 more games? I don't. You know what I mean? Like. Will that continue to like, hey, we're here, or can we continue going?
So I'm up here in New England, so I get a really good look at UConn women.
They're good
because they're really good. They have a
And they might got, some people will say, "Oh, girl's the best play." Maybe the best player. People like her more than Caitlin.
Yeah, Paige Buchers is the girl, but it's not just her; it's the surrounding cast around her. And you have a coach that has been there time and time again. So UConn's going to be tough, but I think Iowa can get by them. I think you're looking at Iowa, South Carolina in the final. I just think it's going to happen, which will be a really good game. It'll be a really good game.
USC could win tonight. USC's Juju and USC is really good.
Yeah, but if UConn wins, I think Caitlin Clark got in the back of her head what Dawn Staley said. How Dawn Staley talked down about her and didn't really say she's the face or she's one of the faces of women's basketball.
Yeah, even Gino. Gino's going to back his own player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Gino, at least in the press conference, if they win tonight, we'll throw flowers at Caitlin Clark and we'll say, "Hey, Caitlin, she's really, really good. We're going to have to do something special to stop her." Where Dawn Staley probably won't say that. So.
No, but Staley's probably got a little bitter taste because Iowa beat them. Remember, they were undefeated, I think, last year, and then Iowa beat them, in the Final Four to get to the championship game. So, it'll be tough.
I just think the NCAA would love to get Iowa, South Carolina in the championship game, or
Iowa, UConn. You know what I mean?
Iowa, UConn. Yeah. That'll take place Final Four. If it happens.
Yeah. Because UConn.
So Iowa, think of this: if Iowa gets to the Final Four, which it looks like they're going to, it's UConn possibly or USC and South Carolina to win the chip. That's a gauntlet.
They did, to beat LSU, and if they got either if it's UConn or USC. Like those are two really good, and then if you South Carolina, God dang,
South Carolina's a wagon. They just produce kids after kids after kid. They're phenomenal. So
all right, I feel like I can let it down. We were up 10 with 14 seconds left. My buddy texted me when there was like a minute and a half left. He's like,
"You're so clinched up. You're like,
the game ain't over yet. The game ain't over. Let's go ahead. This guy's speaking of good baseball teams. Maybe the Yankees are good." Beating out the Astros, swept them. Sweep City. Give it up for our own Yankee fan, Johnny Cruz.
Hey. What's going on, gentlemen? What's up?
Host of Aqua and Orange that you can catch here on the LTS network right before this show.
And Pinstripe Perspectives every day.
Pinstripe Perspective is our new award-winning show with the recaps on after the Yankees win or lose. So
yes, appreciate that. Yes, the Pinstripe. Every post, I'm doing the post-game show for that. I'm trying to do it every night. I ain't gonna front these West Coast games coming up right now. Gonna be hard to do. But what I'm gonna do is Thursday is an off day, so Thursday I'll do my recap of the Arizona Diamondback series. But no, every other game I'm doing a quick recap, 10-15 minutes afterwards, where I give you my perspective on that evening's game. You can't get no better than to sweep the Houston Astros to start off the season. Juan Soto is everything that he was advertised to be. He's just a different type of dude, bro. I mentioned it on the show yesterday. Like there's a calm when he's up to bat. Like you just expect him to come through regardless of what the situation is. If he just needs to come up with a clutch hit like he needed to yesterday, the night before, hitting the opposite field home run to take the 1-run lead. He's even making good defensive plays out there. So he's playing well. I'm not gonna front. I'm still worried about this pitching. The bullpen hasn't given up a run yet in over 15 innings pitched, but that's a lot of innings already in 4 games for the bullpen. So we're going to need these starters to go a little deeper into the ball game. And I anticipate them making some kind of move because we're not going to get Cole back till at least after the All-Star break. So don't be surprised if they wind up, even if it's a low-key move, not for like a top rotation type guy, but even if a reliable guy that could eat some innings, I can see them doing that. They got the young kid, Luis Gil, going tonight. He's coming off of Tommy John surgery. You know, it was 2 years ago, so he should be good to go. But he didn't pitch many innings last year, so he's going to be on a pitch limit. So the pitching still has me a little worried, but a great start, 4-0 to start the season. Again, winning against Houston in Houston was huge for the Yankees to start the season.
Do I dare say, are you guys superstitious?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious, bro.
All right,
I'm not
if I don't do the post game tonight, and I was to happen to do it after tomorrow night's game and they won, then I wouldn't miss another post game show until they lose again.
So
like I'm superstitious like that, which is why, you know what I'm saying, I hope they win game 1 tonight with me not doing a post game, because then I can just finish the series without doing the post game and not worry about it. But yeah, I'm ridiculous superstitious, bro. If I'm sitting somewhere, I'll have to stay sitting there. If I start watching the game and like let's say I get into the game in the second, third inning and we've scored 3 or 4 runs already, and I start watching it and they don't do well, I'll stop watching and just think, oh, I started watching it and that's why they're not doing well now, and then I won't watch the rest of the game.
John,
I'm bad, bro. I'm bad, dude. I was like that as a player too, bro. Like I had an undershirt that I wore in football that I wore the whole season without washing that bitch. I was like that when I played too, man. Yeah, I'm super.
Who did your Yankees just beat?
The Houston Astros.
Who are they playing tonight?
The Astros.
Toronto.
Yeah, and they're beating them down. They're beating them
down. Guess
what
the Astros are doing tonight? They're throwing a no-hitter through 6 innings right now.
Oh shit! And they've scored like 4 or 5 runs already, right?
Their number 5 pitcher is throwing a no-hitter against Toronto tonight.
I mean, that Houston lineup is nice, bro. Like everybody's 270 and up. Really good contact hitters. So I mean, it was an all-around team wins in that 4-game series. They won every kind of way possible. The first 3 would come from behind victories. So no, it's been a lot of fun. But you know, like I mentioned on the show, it's 4 games. I know Yankee fans are going buck now, and I do feel a little different about this team because of the mentality of the guys they added. I love the swag and the toughness, the grit of Soto, Verdugo. I was excited about Verdugo. I like the way he plays. They needed that. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of good guys, which is cool, but you need some dogs. You need some guys that are, you know what I'm saying, scrap.
We don't need no cats. We need them dogs.
Right, yes, absolutely. And they added a few of them. So I like the way this team is put together. Like I said, that Garrett Cole thing that hurt though.
I mean, you might want to remind Yankee fans it's only the first week of fucking baseball season, Johnny.
Yeah, so I know, but I mean,
it's a marathon,
that's just they are, man. I don't know how their blood pressures be handling it, man, because they are so up and down and shit. Like if they lose 2 in a row, the world's falling. You know what I'm saying? The sky is falling. They need to fire everybody and stuff.
When it comes to baseball, it's like a week at a time. Just win the series, a week at a time.
Right.
10 game
series. The one thing that I have noticed, and they supposedly, they evaluated the whole analytics department and stuff like that, and said that they were going to try to be more balanced as far as analytics with the whole gut thing. And this is the first time since Aaron Boone has been there where he has actually had the same lineup. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 4 games with just a little switch as far as the catching position. But it's the same lineup, which you don't expect from him since he's been here. So that's good to see that they're actually, staying with a hot hitter. You know what I'm saying? With the young kid, Orlando, Oswaldo Cabrera has been raking. And they just keep putting him in the lineup where, you know what I'm saying, past years they had the plan of already sitting guys particular days and stuff like that. I used to drive Yankee fans nuts. So it's nice to see a consistent lineup every day.
Yeah, real quick, I want to Caitlin Clark finished tonight with 40 points, 9 3-pointers.
She's nice, bro.
She is her. She
nice. Needed 9 3-pointers to break an NCAA record.
Yeah.
So she did it tonight.
Yeah.
This girl, I love this kid on
Juju
Paige Buchers. Juju's nice, but Paige is, if she didn't blow out her knee, you know what I'm saying? Like she's nasty, bro. People forgot how good she was because she missed, all of last year and stuff like that. But she's a baller. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame Gino for the comments he made about his player because she is a
coach is supposed to back their player. You know what I mean?
But she's playing up to it to where, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like people are gonna be like, oh hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
She's really good. You know what I'm saying? So
if Tim Mulkey came out and said Angel Reese is the best player, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't blame that. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. Yeah, but Paige she's really nice, man. And this Juju girl, she a freshman, right?
Yeah.
She nasty, bro. So it's nice that the women's game is getting the recognition, and you know what I'm saying, the stars are stepping up and playing. So these games are getting a lot of attention. So it's cool, man.
Kim Mulkey's too busy suing the Los Angeles Times, so she's gotta,
I mean, some of those comments were a bit much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, they have to heavily edit that article because lawyers were coming through. So
it was a puff piece, basically.
I do bristle at media writing stuff like that, of course, and then like all of a sudden there's like articles that are like, again, none of that was proven, and you could tell like they added that, and I was like, oh, you guys got a little scared, did you? You got the bureaucrats down your throats.
The bosses went to the columnists and said, hey, cut some stuff out, please. We don't want to deal with this stuff.
Hey,
I heard you mention before I got on about if I was to go ahead and beat, they play the winner of this game here, UConn and
they do in the Final Four.
Yeah.
So if they, regardless of who it is, whether USC or UConn, if they win that game and then go on to beat South Carolina, I mean that's one of the best runs by a basketball. Yeah, because that's a gauntlet right there. You're going up against not only great teams, but they got stars on all these teams.
You better give her roses at that time.
At that time, all these haters out here, Bobby G, my guy from Las Vegas, the bench warmer guys that anybody that says that has told me over the last month and a half that she's not the GOAT, she's not this, not that, and it won't give her upcomings. If she goes on this run and they beat the winner of this game, UConn and USC, and then she beats South Carolina, if it is beats South Carolina. Hey, give her damn flowers, and she stamps her as the GOAT. And
even Jay Williams would have to, eat some crow there.
Yeah, take that, Jay. Yeah,
I consider her in the top 10 already. But if she goes to 2 championship games in a row,
and
she
wins
might be
one
top
of them.
5.
Yeah,
and wins one.
Oh yeah, she's definitely at least top 10 already, bro.
Yeah,
just on skill level and the stats and records.
My guy NFL outdated. I had him on he's a big Iowa fan too, from Iowa, as well. So I asked him. I said, does she need a title to be the GOAT? And he said no. He said, who needs it? The goddamn state of Iowa needs it. And I said, amen to that, because, brother, we ain't got shit in Iowa. So let us get this one chip, because guess what? Our football team will never have, you know what I mean? To get to the Big Ten championship game, we consider that a success. And now that all these other teams are coming in, we're never going to get there again. Our men's basketball team's never really good. We had a decent, so-called with Luka Garza, but they didn't even get past the second round. So let us get this one, will you, world? Yeah. Will you let us just have this one title with this one special player once in this lifetime, so we can hold on
like Bills fans, doesn't he?
I don't know if it would like stamp her.
They don't even have a professional sports team in Iowa. Let us get this one.
It definitely puts her in the conversation where people can't argue against you making an argument for her. You know what I mean? Like people can't say, "Oh no, she's not." If she's got a chip, again, going through that gauntlet as well, like she's definitely in the discussion. You know what I'm saying?
She's top 10. Let me clarify. She's top 10 for me in both men's and women's. All-time NCAA.
Oh, wow.
If she wins a chip, she's top 5 without question. What she's done for that women's
top
game right
5 now? In all of college basketball, men and women?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a hot
take.
Because
what she's done for college basketball.
I know, but there have been a lot of like great, you know what I'm saying, college basketball players.
There's been a lot of great college basketball players, but none of
I
them.
can see what Scott is saying as far as like grew the game and helped
No,
develop and put it on a national.
But I mean, as far as I'm saying, like there's been a lot of guys that have had phenomenal all-time great college careers that weren't good pros.
Yeah.
You know what I
Christian
mean? Leitner's one of those.
Leitner might be the perfect example.
What was the kid? The kid from North Carolina that the center? God, not Eric Montrose. Nah, the kid that was after him.
Oh, I was gonna say Sean May.
Nah, man.
Oh, Sean May was like that.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to think about it.
No, Hansbrough.
It was a white. Tyler Hansbrough.
Oh yeah.
I mean, didn't he win a champion? I mean, he had a phenomenal 4 years.
Michael
Jordan had a phenomenal college career. James Worthy had a phenomenal college career. I mean, there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Ralph Sampson, his college career. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tyler Hansbrough, real quick, played against him in high school. He was he was from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. He was. I always make the joke. He was ranked number 1 in the state. I was ranked dead last in the state. So
I was about to say, I'm sure he whipped that ass.
So I always make the joke. He was ranked number 1 because we graduated at the same time. 05.
Okay, right.
So class wise. So I always say.
So he was number 1, and you were number 4,400.
Exactly. Exactly.
Beautiful.
Eric Montross, top of the class. Nick Bodkins, right here.
Yeah, there's Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T.
Tyler
Hansbrough, I remember one game against Duke where he was
broke his
all
nose,
bloody and stuff, and he was still out there balling, man. So
speaking of bloody,
Johnny, before we bring him on, he went to school with Tyler Hansbrough. They played basketball. They combined for 2,865 career points. Tyler Hansbrough had 2860. Nick had the 5 that were the most important 5 in the group.
Exactly. Speaking of bloody, The Rock left Cody Rhodes a bloody mess on Monday Night Raw. And to help us start our preview of WrestleMania, it is WrestleMania weekend, and the final boss is beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes. To help us talk about it is none other than Mr. Jim Biringer.
Yeah.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Look at you.
Took something from me. That's what you get.
Look,
this ain't over. This ain't over. Look at you now. Look at you now, Jim. Look at you now.
Look at me. Look at me. That's right.
Look at us. Who thought we'd be here? Huh?
Who thought we'd be here is right. I mean, it's WrestleMania season. It's WrestleMania week. It's the biggest week of the year. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. The Rock says he made wrestling cool again. Wrestling's been cool for about 2 years. Maybe longer. Wrestling's been cool for life. So, I mean, wrestling's always been cool. So, Dwayne, sorry, but you're wrong. You're wrong.
Dwayne, good job, Sam.
You just made it cooler.
It's the Guardians. I mean,
you gotta watch the Guardians.
That's debatable. That's debatable. But look, you got the final boss, Roman Reigns, night 1 against Seth Rollins and Cody, and then you got Roman versus Cody, night 2 for the belt. That's one main event, ladies and gentlemen. That's one show. WrestleMania, that's one show. And one main event. Over 2 nights.
Yeah.
Jim.
So he has 8 with Hogan, not 9. Those keeping track at home. He has 8. He will have 8 after this weekend. Not 9, like Michael Cole said. Those are inflated numbers.
They got to boost their guy up. Jim, I do real quick, Scott. I do got a problem with the 2 nights, and we're getting a lot of extra dumb matches I don't care about. Nick Aldis.
This is what you and I talk about AEW all the time and try to get everybody on the card. This is what I've been talking about for years about WrestleMania and these 2 nights things. I don't need everybody on the card. WrestleMania was earned. WrestleMania used to be earned. You
Yep.
earned WrestleMania. So what? You didn't get your WrestleMania.
I don't need to
paycheck.
see Bobby Lashley in that whole test.
No,
I
don't need that. That's a SmackDown.
Hopefully
match.
that
Who
is on like
cares?
the pre-show, and because I won't tune in until the main show. I'm not watching because
I don't care about that. Like, this could be one night. Like, this could be a huge. This could have been Saturday night WrestleMania. Like, I could have done that.
You could have even done The Rock. You still could have done the tag match. That could have been the opener, right? And then you run him back out for the main event 4 hours later.
Do we remember Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania 30 wrestled Triple H at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then
I
came
would have
back
done that I would have done that at the beginning. Give him rest, give him time, build the match, and then had your main event.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's too much garbage on this. There's a lot of garbage on this card.
And now we're getting the Jade Cargill. What do you make of Jade Cargill and her debut here?
Yo, that bitch show is back. Let's go. I was always a fan of Jade. I know she had a couple of moves. She needed to be developed, but that's who she was. She was never gonna be this great in-ring performer, right? She was gonna be Bill Goldberg as a female. That's what her package was. Yep. And that's what AEW turned her out to be. That's fine. But then why do we have to wait 8 months if she's not ring ready for her to do the same shit on TV? All right. Like, Jim. I like it, but again, this is a SmackDown match. Like, I understand Jade should be at WrestleMania. That's fine. But does that match really need to be on WrestleMania? No, it doesn't.
So how interesting do you find it that Triple H brought the Stone Cold Cena truck in and had Rock beat Cody outside and put a spotlight on that truck?
There is no coincidence. One, if not both guys, will be there somehow at WrestleMania.
Don't forget it's 25-year anniversary of Rock Austin first main event.
Right, exactly. That's why I think Austin will be there somehow, some way. He'll either interfere, screw somebody over. Like, they'll play it back somewhere because there's been if you notice with Triple H, right, a lot of callbacks to what happened, right? There's been a lot of callbacks to like his time. And look, I want to put this out there. Don't forget, if Triple H doesn't have a heart issue, we might be finally getting Rock Triple H at this WrestleMania. Like the singles match they should have had at WrestleMania 2000 because we had to put bullshit in there too. So, I mean, look, I think it's going to be fun. I don't think it's a coincidence that happened. I love the build's been great. The packages have been great. The way the Rock has come out and the final boss, he's looked exactly what he needs to be. There's definitely something's going to happen here with him and Roman to cost him the belt. I mean, he's like, well, if I win the title, like I was texting my friends this. He's like, well, I heard the stipulation last night on the Roman biography. If he loses the title, he's gone. Yeah, until he's back again. So
yeah.
We might really
until time off is not needed anymore, then I'll be that's how long I'll be gone. It's like
do people realize that after WrestleMania, Rock is going to film his next movie? He's going to be gone.
He's going to be gone too. Like here's the thing. They didn't do it the first time Austin won the belt because it was about Austin winning the title at WrestleMania 14. So they didn't have anybody ready to go. They don't have that problem right now if Cody wins the title.
No, there's going to be a lot of ample guys ready to go at Cody.
Right, exactly. So you don't have that baby.
Gunther being probably number one. I know Gunther's on Raw and Cody
but what I'm saying is, if you go back to Austin's first title run, he didn't have that dominating heel necessary to fight him for the title. They put Mick Foley as Dude Love, is BS, and then that's when it was McMahon, but McMahon wasn't in the ring, and the story was got to get the belt off Austin. Now Austin's got to get the title back, and then you had Rock and Austin. Like, that was where it was headed. Now you have Cody. You could go AJ Styles. There's so many guys you can go down the list. Like, go run through the bloodline. You got The Rock. You got everybody. Like, there's enough for the babyface champion to not only complete the story, but to continue it as a champion until they lose faith in him like they did with look, I don't want to turn this into the Bret Hart show, but he should have had at least a 2.5-year title run when he won the title because he carried that company. But Vince wanted to see the next big guy get the belt, but they always went back to Bret. So that tells you what kind of guy he was and what kind of gate he drew at the box office.
When's the Mama Road slap come, night 1 or night 2? Because you know it's coming.
Oh, it's got to happen.
Night 1 or night 2?
I didn't say night 2 during the main event. I think night.
Yeah.
I think it's night 2 just because I think the heels are going to win night 1. I don't think this is going to be a one-on-one match. I think it's going to be both on loser.
I don't think so either.
That's
when I think Austin will interfere.
That's when Austin's going to come back and interfere. And, like, everybody's making the rounds. It's like, oh, could MJF show up? Could this guy show up? Like, who knows? We don't know. I don't want to know.
Didn't he sign with W?
Yeah, he's
already
signed.
Let me ask you this. Would you guys be, like, because it seems like sometimes we expect all these, like, swerves and things like that, and then we don't get them. Will you be disappointed if Austin or Cena don't show up? Because I feel like everybody hypes themselves up into these scenarios, and then they don't get them, and then they bitch about it.
Look,
I'm not saying you guys, but I'm just saying in general.
I'd be more disappointed if Austin didn't show up than Cena, to be honest. Cena,
but the
I
problem
don't think either one of them showing up.
The thing is, no one really knows if Austin or Cena is going to be there. Like, Hogan just cut this promo online about he's going to be in Philly, Fanatics, Cody's his guy. Like, it got me thinking.
Well, Hogan's going to be part of the Friday festivities, the world thing.
But he's doing stuff on Sunday too. That doesn't mean he can't interfere. Like,
he's like 80-year-old Hulk Hogan's walking out there. What are they trying to do? This is going to be Logan Paul and Mike Tyson fighting. Like, we don't need to see this
walk
shit.
Is a strong word.
I mean, it's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 40. It's Hogan. He's got to get his hot dog and grandstanding in. You know that.
Yeah, he don't even know where he was. Remember the last time he hosted the Silver Dome, and it was there in the Superdome. You don't even know where the hell he is half the time.
Look, I don't.
I will say
I'm
this:
not
they
getting
do
my
have a
hopes.
history.
Look, I'm not getting my hopes up that Hogan's gonna the Rock, the Stone Cold, or Cena. I don't know if they're gonna come. Like, I was like, as much as the match with Kevin Owens and Austin was good, I didn't need it. Because my image was Austin laying down for The Rock and doing a job at 19.
Yeah.
Like,
what
that
you're supposed to do. Yeah.
What you're supposed to do, right? Like, you're not supposed to get the win. Like, Sting got his win, great. Like, that's the new wave. But, like, Austin did him a favor because The Rock did him favors on his way up. So, like, that was my lasting image. As much fun as it was, I didn't really need it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great if Austin interfered. It would be great, but I'm not really. I'm hoping the bigger disappointment would be if Cody didn't win, because then you're building this thing for 2 years and you're still not doing it. So again, it comes to the point of, okay, why does Roman still have the belt? Like,
well, here's the thing: the two things. If Roman beats Cody, who is Roman losing to?
Nobody.
Nobody. That's
nobody.
Number 2,
Rock next year's WrestleMania.
And if he jobs to the Rock, then it's like CM Punk all over again. Because then what the hell was this 3.5-year reign for?
Stone Cold cannot just walk down the ramp. He has to come down in his big vehicle.
Yeah, his ATV.
If that glass breaks, boys, I'm going to be one happy.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. I'll mark out. Don't get me wrong. I'll mark out with the next guy.
When we knew he was fighting KO, right? But when he came out, when Pat McAfee and Austin and like
Vince and all that stuff, that was great.
Yeah, didn't know that was happening, right? And that was incredible. So It was here. It was at Brooklyn when they had like the 25th anniversary of Raw, and McMahon and Vince was I can say his name, or I could call him the pedophile or the pervert or whatever the sexual. I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think pedophile is the right. They're all grown.
Rapist. Like
those are allegations.
Alleged.
Oh no, they're true.
Alleged. Alleged.
Yes, allegedly.
So Austin came out that night, and that place went nuts. Like, if that happened, like if you don't know about it, is when the best pops happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To this day, to me the best pop in a long time, I still get goosebumps thinking about it, is Edge's return at the Royal Rumble. Like, nobody knew that was happening. And
No.
All of a sudden you just see that, and then you see the look on his face and everybody else, and that place just absolutely fucking exploded. Like, I still get goosebumps thinking about that.
That was one of the loudest pops I ever heard. I mean, obviously when Austin at his height, I mean, nothing could touch that. I mean, nothing could touch that.
Nothing. Yeah. When the glass breaks, it's insane.
Look,
but.
I don't want to hear, like, I know they're like, it's Michael Cole's job to do all this. To me, greatest of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
I agree. I agree.
He saved the company, really. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100% he did. He saved the company. He cut that speech at King of the Ring. They put the rocket ship to him. He worked his way. He worked his ass off to get there. Broken neck. The promos with Austin McMahon. Like, that alone. And then you bring everybody else into it. That was it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing
anytime after he left, the reaction was the same. It was just like,
oh yeah. The only thing I would say was such a short reign, right? Like, it wasn't. Yeah. It was like 5 years, really. You know what I mean? Off and on again at point in time.
Well, yeah, because he had don't forget he had the neck injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took his ball and chain and went home at one point.
Well, but if you think about it, right? Like, he had legit reasons, though. Because,
agree. We all agree. Yeah, I agree with
Brock
that.
Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin should not be on a Raw. Like, that match.
In a throwaway match. No,
that's not some throwaway match on Raw. Like, he had legitimate reasons not to wrestle that match. It just took him so long to come back, and then he did 2 matches, and then it was like it because his neck was so bad.
Yeah. And then not only that, you're asking him at the height of his run to lose to Brock Lesnar for no reason at all.
I don't think he had an issue losing.
No,
I think it was the fact the match was on Raw. It was a King of the Ring.
No advertising or anything.
No advertise. It was just some throwaway. Like, there was he didn't care that he was losing. In fact, he said in multiple interviews, he didn't care about putting Brock over.
I would have done business and went over. Yeah, I would have put the kid over. We needed the story. He said he was going to do. Yeah, he's like, I would have put Brock over. He's the next big thing. All that stuff, great. But there was no build to it. So what was the point of the match?
No, there wasn't. Yeah, I agree 100%. So,
Jim, is there other than the main event, or either main event, I guess, or whatever you want to say, is there a match that you're looking forward to that, like, hey, circle this one is probably could be the best match on the card?
I mean, let me pull up the card real quick.
I think Jay and Jimmy could be.
I think that could be a great match. I think that should open WrestleMania night 1.
They've talked about that in interviews before, that they want to go against each other at WrestleMania. So I think the other storyline is Rikishi gonna involve himself in it.
Oh yeah,
and
Solo's gonna get involved somehow,
or somebody like that. Yeah,
I think Rollins and Drew will be a good match. LA Knight, AJ Styles will be really good, and I think the triple threat actually for the U.S. title will be really good.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about this ship, and actually, I'm gonna take that back. Those matches will be good, but I think Bayley and Io are gonna steal the show.
Oh, would you really?
I think Becky and
Rhea will be awesome.
Rhea will be really good.
That's going to be really good because there's a good story there. But Io and Bayley can really wrestle.
They were even mixed it up on the MMA Hour today. Rhea and
that's your crossover with Endeavor. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Speaking of that, your guy CM Punk was on that show. I don't know if you caught any of that interview.
I did. Real quick though, I'm going over this card. So. Yeah, like the 6-person ladder match, I could live without it.
Oh, I like it.
I like it, but like again, do I need it? No. Will it be good? Yeah, but do I need it? Like the the Bianca Jade Naomi that match, no buy. LWO versus Santos and Dirty Dom, no buy. Don't need it. And then the only match I would cut from Sunday right now is Pride versus the Final Testament. Okay, I just got this card down to one night. Thank you very much.
So the deal is Triple H.
They announced what each night's going to be already.
I mean, I don't know if this is official. Again, take it what you will. This is off Wikipedia, so.
Alan sent me.
I personally think that Triple H should have a meeting with talent the night after WrestleMania at the Raw and say, "We're going in a different direction with WrestleMania. You now have to earn your way onto WrestleMania. We're having one night because that's what he wants. One night. That's it."
I think they do go back to one night.
Yeah, I think he needs to tell the talent, "You have to earn your way into WrestleMania now. This is not given anymore. We're not just handing out cherry matches to you guys because you're in the company. So start wrestling like you want to be there." So, because I'm with you, Jim. Half of these matches you can just throw them out. They're nothing.
I mean, like not for nothing. I don't want to be rude to these guys. I mean, I know they're good workers and performers and stuff, but Pride versus Final Testament, everybody's just gonna get up and take a piss before the main event. Like that's the death spot match.
I was gonna say, is that gonna be a cool down match?
That's gonna be a death. That's gonna be death.
They did say it's a Philadelphia street fight match.
Yeah, so Chicago street fight was a match between Austin and Brett, and Undertaker and Sid at WrestleMania 13, and no one gave a crap about it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Dom and Escobar against Ray and Dragon Lee.
Who cares?
Really?
Like, who cares? No one cares about that match. That's a SmackDown match. Like, it really.
You could have just done Ray and Dominic again. I think you probably would have.
I would have rather seen that. I'd rather
Me too.
seen that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So going back to the CM Punk interview today, look, he shot. I mean, he took a lot of shots at AEW.
Did say a lot of good things about AEW though.
He did say a lot of good things. He mentioned All In. He can't talk about Brawl Out. That one he's not allowed to talk about. But he did mention stuff about what we kind of all suspected, why it led up to Brawl Out, because he said that Hangman went off direction. They had this entire thing worked out, and then he goes off. So that's why Punk did what he did. He basically told Tony, handle it. You're not going to like the way I handle it. And then he went into this stuff with Jack Perry. And again, Jack Perry went into business for himself because apparently it was squashed. And now, Jack wants to do internet stuff. And then he quit before the match. So the understanding is, like, originally this all played out before the pay-per-view started. I guess there was some time in between for him to go to his room. He basically told Tony Khan, he's like, I quit. I'm out of here. This place is an effing joke. Like, I'm done. And he said, and Ariel asked him, okay, why wouldn't you leave? He's like, because I have too much respect for Samoa Joe and the fans that paid money to see this. Yeah. Like, but he's like, I knew this was my last match.
Okay, so Alan just gave the night one. The reason why Jay and Jimmy are on night one is because the bloodline is going to be there for night two.
Jay versus Jimmy, LW. I don't know if this is in order, but I'm okay with Jay and Jimmy opening up the card.
I would love that.
And Becky on night one is strange to me. Why wouldn't you put them on night two?
You have to spread out the women's matches.
Yeah. Santos Damage Control versus Bianca. I don't. If those are back to back, that's a whole hour I can just skip of Mania right there. The LWO Damage Control versus Bianca Naomi.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't need this crap.
So what they're basically saying is Bayley and Io is on night two.
Yeah,
night two. Yeah,
I think Rhea and Becky and Bayley and Io should be switched night one, night two. That's what I think.
No, I think Bayley deserves night two because
you think so? You think she's winning the title?
Yeah, I think she's beating Io for the belt.
Yeah,
I think she deserves to. Like, do I think Triple H will give her a belt? I don't know. Do I think she deserves it? Yes, because of what she's done.
I think they're going to give it to Becky. I think they're going to give it to Bayley. I keep going back and forth on the Becky and Bayley, and then I'm going back and forth on Logan Paul retaining too.
I think Logan retains. I think Logan retains.
So too. I think so too. I can't see Orton or Kevin Owens being the champion.
And it'll be sleazy. He'll do something sleazy. You know,
Yeah, he'll
but-
sleep.
Or
'Cause
Orton and
like, don't
KO
forget, he's
turn
a-
on each other or something. You know what I mean? Like they kind of.
Yeah,
I think if they put it on Bailey, I think it's Bianca and Bailey at SummerSlam. I think that's what's going to happen because they've already set the table in terms of them having a feud to get against each other because Bianca doesn't like Bailey.
I'd like to see Jade and Bianca kind of go. I know they're kind of both baby faces, but just you know what I mean. Like that would be a fun match to see. Jim, before we get you out of here, what's cracking in the other world of yours that you cover in the hockey world as hockey season's winding down here?
So
Florida Panthers are terrible.
Florida Panthers lost to Toronto, but I have some entertaining games tonight. You know, you had some playoff type games with the Islanders and the Flyers. The Flyers tied the game with 9.6 seconds left to earn a much needed point. The Islanders won in overtime. They picked up a couple points there. Detroit beat Tampa in regulation. That's huge for them. But the Capitals still own tiebreakers. Those are a couple games Crosby still owns the Rangers, so that was good to see. No
Jim,
bias there.
What was with the Flyers no showing against the Blackhawks the other night?
Man, that's a head scratcher because you've played Montreal and Chicago back to back, guaranteed point night for everybody, and you just laid 2 eggs because you took them lightly. And the Blackhawks did this to Pittsburgh last year. That could have been a game that Philadelphia gets knocked out of the playoffs. Washington passed them because of tiebreakers, but now Philly's back in third. So I mean, look, you talk about, like, I heard Ellie Friedman today talk about expanded playoffs, how every league who's done it likes it. That he must not talk to NBA executives because they hate it, because the playing round for the NBA sucks. This is your playing round right now. Like, every game now through the end of the regular season matters.
Yes.
Matters. Like, huge.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm watching that game. I'm like, what are the Flyers doing?
They just laid a complete egg. Could have won. Could have get some more points. No showed. Okay, that's fine.
Well, St. Louis did the same thing with San Jose over the weekend too.
Yeah, but I think St. Louis ended up coming back and winning that game. But their start was terrible.
Hey, real quick, I just want to get this in here. The Astros, Ronel Blanco is 2 outs away against the Blue Jays for a no-hitter.
Oh, wow.
That means he's
firing. We talk about we always look. I always had to say this when it was it was Black Wednesday, whatever day it was. It's Black Monday night for AEW. A lot of guys, some low-level talents getting released right now.
Well, who is?
Yeah, what is going on in that company anyway?
I don't know, man.
It's getting messy.
But so the boys got released, but they were working ROH. So Dalton Castle doesn't have the boys anymore. Dasha's not there. I mean, some of these guys I don't even know. Like, but Gravity's out. But Jose, the assistant, like, this guy was a part of a major stable and he just got fired.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what's going on over there.
According to your guy CM Punk says Tony Khan's a great guy, but he's a horrible boss because he just wants to be everybody's friend.
He's a fan.
Well, that's been the MO for AEW since its inception. All friends wrestling. Yeah. Like that's been like the knock on it is because it's everybody's friends, but nobody has a leader. And then when Punk's like, look, you're not gonna like the way I handle business, and then he gets fired and got canned because of it.
It's really strange.
In the words of Jim, no, it's not Jim Brown. The preacher from Blues Brothers, right? Do you see the light? Do you believe? The Hurricanes believe in Jake Grunsel. Do you?
I believe in Jake Getzel too. That was a great trade for them because they decided to finally go all in on everything. And look, they're going to be a major player for Getzel. They want to keep him, but they have 11 total UFAs and several RFAs. Natchez, Seth Jarvis, Tony D'Angelo, and Toronto. There's a lot of players that they can get. Teuvo Teravainen. So they have some players that they have to keep, and they're going to have to decide who they want to keep. Getzel's going to be one of them. And you know what? I think they're going to try to keep him. But again, they got the big knock on the Carolina Hurricanes is they got to open a checkbook. And guys don't stay there because they don't pay. So Getzel's going to be a wanted man out on the free agent market. I would not be surprised if he stays. He did talk when he was in Pittsburgh that he didn't want to get traded, but the team went in a different direction. Teams are going to want Jake Getzel.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I knew I threw you for a loop there, not being a Predators question.
And you know what? Pred's a little bit of a slide right now. They'll be all right, though.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Nobody's really worried down here about it.
Remember, they're not even supposed. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny, good thing the Astros didn't. The Yankees didn't face Blanco, the Astros' new ace pitcher.
Yeah,
it's all good. The Yankees just went up 2-0 on Arizona.
Look,
so
again,
I'm good.
This is for,
I'm happy, bro.
It's 5 games into the season.
It's
Nice to see the Yankees beating up on teams. Talk to me in September when they have no pitching again.
Well, that's what I said.
They don't have any pitching now, and they're still winning games.
I know because they're out hitting. Because they're out.
I mean, it's better than losing. You know what I'm saying? So
look, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. Look, I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but like, it's like it's 5 games in, big deal. Like, talk to me.
No, I mean,
talk to me in the playoffs.
No, I feel you. I mean, that's the mentality. Nothing matters until October, but. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big series to win the series itself, but huge. To go to sweep it in that match, he's
like, a monster.
How needs to have a coming to Jesus moment and act like his daddy and pull a George and just make sure
back
that
up
kid,
the brakes truck.
Yes, you make sure that kid never wears another uniform but pinstripes again, bro. For real.
Look, dude. George needs to come out of his grave and like go to his son and be like, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like he needs to visit him in his dream and be like, if you
this Christmas song, whatever movie this is, like the Ebenezer Scrooge type deal.
Yes.
Like let's go. Like this needs to happen. Like George needs to go to Hal and be like, you need to sign him.
Yes. Yeah.
Jim,
I think he is. I'm sure. Sorry. I'm sure Steve Cohen is going to try his damnedest to get him, but depending on how the season goes, I mean, I think he's enjoying being a Yankee. You know what I'm saying? So if the money's comparable,
the short portrait on
right?
Field
Not only that, but the vibe that he's going to get from the fans at Yankee Stadium, you ain't going to be able to match that in Queens.
The only thing to let you know on both sides in Queens and in the Bronx is when you suck.
Right, but you know what I'm saying? Even if he's not playing great, it's still better than a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't going to keep it at this level.
Dude, this lineup is ridiculous. If you look at it, I mean, Judge has protection now. Like, this team is loaded.
Yeah, right.
All I'm going to tell you guys is beware of the Red Sox. They're 2-2 and they're beating the A's right now. So beware.
Hey, Jim,
you can only play the teams that are in front of you, Scott. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get you out of here. We'll get you out of here on this. I'm going to give you the pin. Tell us how night 1 main event ends and then night 2 main event ends.
I think because
Jim Beringer's booking the show.
If I'm booking the show, so remember, this is a little caveat. Roman Reigns has yet to beat Seth Rollins as the WWE champion. Remember, they had like that rope break or whatever DQ finish that the Rumble.
No, that was Damian Priest.
No.
Not Damian Priest. The rope break thing, wasn't that the demon?
No, but there was a match between Rollins and Reigns when Reigns was champion, and he never pinned Seth Rollins. Like it ended screwy. Like it ended with a DQ or something.
Yeah.
I think Roman gets the pin. I think Roman pins Seth night 1 to get the edge for the team on. Because you're not gonna pin Cody night 1.
Finger poke of doom.
Like you wouldn't pin your top guy night 1. Like The Rock's not gonna lose it for his team, and they're not pinning Roman Reigns again. They already did it in a tag match, so I think Seth's taking the pin here, and it's gonna set up night 2, and I think Cody's finally gonna finish the story.
All right.
And I think The Rock's turning on Roman.
Oh, totally. 100%.
How?
Yeah,
I think he's just gonna tell the guys not to do anything, and because he's the final boss. So,
Yeah. What if Roman's like reaching out for him and he's just walking up the ramp? You know,
he's
he
like,
can't reach out for Brock because he's in a singles match.
I know, but like he's like, help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I personally think Rock is going to come out on his own in night 2. I think he's going to tell Jimmy and Solo, "You guys stay back. We got this."
Hit the bricks.
Yeah.
We're out.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. I'm excited to talk to you about all the results next Monday, Jim. We appreciate you joining us every Monday. Best of luck to you. What you got going on the rest of the week, brother? So we'll see you.
All right, we'll see you around. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Talk to you later.
All right, bro.
Hey, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Who is the that has everybody saying,
"Hey,
I hate you, LA Knight. I hate you." Sounds like Bobby Hill.
All right, boys.
Bye, Jim.
Have a good night. Man. Thank you, bro.
Peace.
LA Knight, you're a piece of trash.
So the update on the no-hitter on his 8th start, Ronel 8th start in the big leagues. Ronel Blanco completes no versus Blue Jays. Obviously the first one. And the Astros now have 4 of MLB's past 7 no-hitters. I mean, that trash can's a cooking, boys.
Golly. Trash can's working, baby. What the hell? What the happened to our screen?
What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. They're just smaller.
What are you doing now with small? What the?
I didn't touch anything. I'm literally not touching anything. Nothing.
You think Tana's in the background doing something?
Maybe. I have no idea why it did that. I have no clue why.
Excuse me, that guy that we don't know.
So Seattle's managers threw a little baby fit. They're up 4-0 against us, by the way. And the ball hit.
To update, so go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
It's okay. But it hit him right in the pinky, like really hard. And he's like freaking, and they let him take his, first they called him out, and then they reviewed it, and he got hit in the hand. And this manager is throwing a fit. And I'm like, it's plain as day in the replay, my man. He got hit right in the finger. Come on, man.
So, real quick update on our Final Four bracket, which is pretty much over. So I don't know who ESPN picks 15 is, guy. But I put it in the chat. If you DM me on Twitter, I'll get you paid. Because I don't think Nick's bracket, whoever that is, he's got the ESPN guy's got 880 points. So I don't know. I guess you only get 10 points per win, right? I don't know how that works.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Nick's bracket's got the next guy's got 800. Now the one guy can't win at all. But the other guy's got UConn, so he could still collect up. As far as us on the show, I'm scrolling down here. It looks like Johnny has got 680. Sam's got 680. But Johnny picked UConn. Sam does not have a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott, I was trying to find out. Scott, did you make 2? Because it says SJ Copes.
No, I made one. I think ESPN just filled in another one. I couldn't get on that one, so I just made Hall of Famer bracket instead of that.
Hall of Famer bracket is 660. So you're at 8. You are actually
third place.
Third. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I am bringing it up the rear. Tanner's ahead of me, and now I am 570. And
I think Tanner should still have to
smell the sardines from here.
Wafting. So next week to open up the show, it will be Sardine City, sardine milkshake for your boy. Got the sardines in the cabinet.
I'm sorry, I got something to do at the beginning of the show. I don't want to guess.
I was going to say I don't want to see that shit. I do, but I don't. I mean, I do want to see it, but I don't know if I can. But it's going to be funny.
So I got to mix something with the sardine. My wife said, you got to mix something with the sardine. I'm like, fucking milk and
milk.
some
Milk
fruit,
and
I guess. You know
Oreo
what I mean?
cookie or something, something like that.
I don't
Jeez.
know. I could crush up some Oreos. Good idea, Scott. That might be smart.
Oh. Yeah, because I don't think I could stand the smell of a sardine milkshake going down.
Yeah.
You know who enjoys watching other people drink a sardine shake? Our very own Jonathan Grishman. That's what I think.
Yeah. So that's
would he be around by any chance? Would he be around to talk to anybody? Listen.
Where could he be?
So let's go ahead. We'll bring him in. I have wanted to talk to this man for the last 30 minutes. I have amply been waiting because a year ago he gave me my upcomings. But now how the turntables have turned, baby. Na 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 na. Hey,
Copyright.
Goodbye. His baseball team, the team he coaches, might be first in the conference, but his women's college basketball team just got the boot, baby, by my Iowa Hawkeyes. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Welcome to the show, Jonathan. I know you were coaching the kids up. In case you missed it, Iowa started out hot. Then LSU came back. They were up by 10 at one point. Iowa came back, tied it up. But in the second half, it was all Iowa, baby. And we sent them home packing. Moki's now got plenty of time to sue all the people that she wants to sue. One girl can go continue her rap career, and we're headed to the Final Four for the second year in a row, baby.
Jonathan, do you have an update on Paul Skeens by any chance? Do you know how he's doing?
That's on LSU Iowa before we get into any baseball stuff.
I'll tell. So look.
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
I'll mute him, Jonathan.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I'll say the same. So it's been a rough.
I couldn't hear you over my gloating.
Gloating from your sardine.
It has been a rough few days for me with my LSU Tigers because I am in Arkansas right now, and my LSU Tigers baseball team did get swept by the Razorbacks, and I have been hearing it nonstop from these kids. Bacon is bacon, no matter how you call it, what you call it. I have been hearing it nonstop from them, and rightfully so. They swept us. But I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. If you don't finish the job, it means absolutely nothing.
So I do want to clarify. I did say this earlier, didn't I not, Scott? I said I am a little worried. We beat the bully that beat us. Yep. Now it's can we continue the momentum? Are we going to say, hey, we beat the people that beat us last year?
Because here's the thing, though. I think they play South Carolina next. Is that who they play?
No, they
the winner of UConn USC.
Okay. And it's tied at halftime. So
which more likely that's who you're going. The South Carolina is going to the national title game, and that is a good team. They are a very
no doubt. I'm not.
No matter who plays Iowa or UConn or USC, that's going to be a tough game. So I'll take. Hey, I give props where props are due. Congratulations.
What was that?
I'm a man.
My internet's cutting out. I can't. My internet cuts out every once in a while. What'd you say again?
I'm a man. I'll admit defeat when it comes down to it. Great job. You beat us. You did beat us.
Oh,
you did. All right, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't finish the job and you get a ring. It does not. Yeah. And that's why I told these boys about Arkansas beating LSU. It don't mean anything if you don't win in Omaha. For Iowa, it don't mean anything if you don't finish the job and win a national title. Just going to sit there and say that.
True. Nick said he's worried. too. So.
I am. I said that. I said that right after the game. I was a little worried, but it does mean something.
That's a tall ask, though, to beat LSU, to beat whoever wins out of USC, UConn, and then to beat the dominant South Carolina team. That's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because LSU, not for nothing, LSU didn't have to play South Carolina last year because Iowa knocked them out.
I think if you're Iowa, you kind of knew this scenario was going to play out because when you look further down the road, you saw LSU there. You kind of figured you're going to play them. And
absolutely, and that's the thing. I'll say this about it. I'll say we were not a great team this year. LSU they overachieved based off of what they were last year to what they were this year. They were not the same team in 2024 than what they were in 2023. I'll admit that. I'll acknowledge that. But so you have tougher games. If you're Iowa in the last two, whether you play UConn, USC, or South Carolina, you have tougher games ahead of you than what you had against LSU. And I'm just going to put that right there. Again, nothing. I'm not taking anything away what Iowa did. They beat us, and they beat us handily. I'm a man to admit that when it comes down to it. But we were not the same team this year that what we were last year. And I think that has to be said and stated.
I would say the same thing about Iowa, though. I thought last year's Iowa team was better than this year's Iowa's team.
Possibly. I didn't watch Iowa enough to actually see and agree with you on that. But I can just say I about LSU and say that they were not as good, and there was a lot more turmoil this year than what they did last year. Now, I will say this about your Iowa Hawkeyes, Nick. Enjoy it while you can because they won't be the same team next year either.
Hey, I know that, brother. Hey,
I'll be the same team ever. They won't be the same team.
Yeah.
Ever.
I said maybe Caitlin doesn't need this national title to prove to anybody that she's the GOAT or whatever. Her credentials speak for herself. But the damn state of Iowa, we need this more than anything, baby, because we don't have professional sports. We're never going to be anything in sports. But let us get this one. Let us have one.
So Jonathan, before you go, let me ask you something. What does Caitlin Clark do for recruiting in the next 2 or 3 years for Iowa? Does it help or hurt?
I mean, it helps. It'll help. But Caitlin Clark was the exception to the rule for Iowa.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you're going to get a 5-star recruit, are you going to go to UConn or Iowa? Are you going to go to South Carolina or Iowa? Are you going to go to LSU or Iowa?
South Carolina.
You'll get the outlier that Caitlin was. And correct me if I'm wrong. Was she from the Iowa area?
Yeah, she's from Des Moines, Iowa.
She's a homegrown girl. It's not like she left North Carolina to go to Iowa. It's not like she left Texas to go to Iowa. She was a homegrown girl. So I mean, it helps to an extent because again, are you going to be able to steal a girl away from UConn or LSU or South Carolina away? Or no, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. So it can help it to where you can try to get more talented girls than what you've gotten over the last few years. But again, to get that 5-star recruit, that superstar player, that's going to be
I don't know what rank she was, but she was like top 5 ranked high school player. She just committed to Iowa to come play next year. So I think to me it's going to help because you're on TV more. Yeah. Maybe you're saying, hey, I want to continue to play, continue this ride that they could be on.
Just possible. It does help because you're building a culture and a culture of winning for your program. That's laying that foundation for Iowa women's basketball, and that's what Caitlin Clark has done. But you got to sustain it, and that's the hard part. That's what these South Carolinas and UConns have done is they get the star player and they sustain success. Can Iowa do that? That's the big question more moving forward.
Yeah. Agreed. I'll agree. Agreed.
And to answer your comments earlier that you were worried about Iowa having a lull now, I don't think so, bro. I think Caitlin realizes that this is it for her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see them dropping off. You know what I'm saying? They have the ultimate goal, which is to win the chip. Yes, it was nice beating LSU on the way, but I don't think it'll be a dip because they You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're going to play a scrub next.
And I want to
say they're going to play a UConn or USC, so they're going to be ready for it.
And to I will say this: we did beat South Carolina, undefeated South Carolina with Aaliyah Boston last year.
So that's what I was going to ask. Now, where is her legacy in women's college basketball? Do we put her up there with Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and all of the greats?
If she wins the chip, she's just barely.
Nick just said she's going to be considered one of the greats, regardless of which. Does she she needs a title. I think she does. She needs a title.
She needs a title. She needs a title to sit at that table with those players.
I agree, and she's going to be we know she'll be the number one pick. We know that it's already basically been done. Indiana Fever is going to make her the number one pick in the draft. But to be considered the greatest women's college basketball player, you have to win a title. I think if they lose either in the Final Four or championship, they lose one of those, she cannot be considered one of the greatest. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Agreed.
I disagree. And this is why. And I'll admit, obviously, I'm biased. You know what I mean? Like I'm a root for Iowa my whole life. But I'll say this is what to the defense of her. I will say this: all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball, men's and women's. So she does that, and not just that, the assist game, all around game. Now you just said, Jonathan, what'd you say? You listed off two women who went to UConn, who went to Tennessee. Like those programs were built. You just said, out of the words out of your mouth, she just built this program. Can they maintain the success after her? So she took an unknown program, a program that's not rich in college basketball history, and has taken them back-to-back Final Fours. Not with other top five, recruits that she's playing with, that Diana Taurasi played with. That is where I think she can make a claim as far as the best, like as being better than them, because she took an unknown program and took them to back-to-back Final Fours.
Before you go, here's what I will say about the UConn sustained success. I think when Rebecca Lobo won that title, I think that set up the UConn program for sustained recruiting success.
Yeah, so she is the Rebecca Lobo. Can she be the Rebecca Lobo?
Iowa doesn't have that history to rely on until
that's my point.
This year. Then they can start relying on that history. But right now, because UConn won that chip, it attracted Diana Taurasi there. It attracted Sue Bird there. It attracted other players there.
She could be talked about as one of the greatest, but not like one of the top two or three. Like Diana Taurasi was like killing it before all this attention. Like she was Caitlin Clark.
I know that. I know, but that's also the point.
She was dominant, bro. She was dominant.
I do have a comparison. If she does not win, if they lose in either the Final Four or championship, she's Simone Augustus. Simone Augustus, who was an LSU player who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, to Basketball Hall of Fame. Simone Augustus is considered a top tier type of player. They just didn't win a championship.
Or even more recently, Ella Deladon from Delaware. Remember she?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the reason why I say Simone Augustus is because she, LSU was never, even when she played, LSU was never at that point where it is today. It was not. And Simone built LSU up to be a potential contender for a championship, losing in the Final Four, I think one of the years that Simone was there, and built a program that LSU could eventually become what they are today. She started what LSU basketball became known as now. That's where Caitlin Clark is currently if they don't win a title. Now, if they win a title, she is in the conversation with Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and Candace Parker as far as the greatest college basketball players, women's college basketball players of all time. She has to be in the conversation. But if they don't win it, if they don't win a title, she cannot. She can be at the tier 2 of greatest of all time. And that is where you have, as you said, Elena Deladon, Simone Augustus, the girls who have been at that, who have elevated their program, just not to the championship, to winning a championship at that point.
The other thing that people don't remember is Cheryl Miller played college basketball. Yeah. Louisiana Tech was a wagon. back in the 80s. They
That's
had
something.
players. Stanford women, they were a wagon. They had players. So
Cynthia
you got to
Cooper.
really go back in
Yeah,
history
Cheryl
and see. Yep, Cheryl Swoops. So you got to take all these players, and if Caitlin Clark wins the chip, then you could start talking about her in the Brianna Stewart category, in the Cheryl Miller, in the Louisiana Tech, in those type of players. Nancy Lieberman, when she played, she was a pioneer in women's basketball. You can go. I mean, there's a lot of players before all of us that you can go back and say Caitlin Clark is in the same breath as those players. So, you know, we only know the Diana Taurasi's because of now and the Angel
Even
Reese's.
what's her name? Ionescu. She, you know what I mean? Like Caitlin, I feel like you know, I mean, she was
Sabrina Ionescu,
Yeah.
Sabrina Ionescu. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the WNBA, what the WNBA has done for women's basketball is it's highlighted these ladies coming out of college. It's given them more of a platform to build their brand.
Well, I think just the women's game right now in college is more healthier than the men's game in
It
college.
certainly is. It's never been as good as it has been right now.
And this is the test for women's college basketball: is how do you continue when Caitlin leaves to go to the WNBA? How do you continue to grow? You know,
You got Juju coming up.
You got Juju. You got Paige for another year.
They have had. This is the most star power that the college women's college basketball has had in their history. I think at least notoriety wise.
I agree.
Star power they've had. Now, again, talking about sustaining for a college program, the women's college basketball now has to figure out how do they sustain this success. And the beautiful part of it is this is where NIL does succeed.
Yes,
where women's college basketball is taking factor. NIL has ruined, college football. NIL has ruined men's college basketball, but it has absolutely succeeded with women's college basketball and being able to say, you know what, you can make millions of dollars in the women's college.
And you don't have to go to UConn.
You don't, and you don't have to go to WNBA to at least make any kind of money because you make more. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark made more money than the top earner of the WNBA. So they're looking and saying, well, Angel Reese is seriously considering coming back next year for her fifth-year senior year because she knows she'll make more money at LSU than what she will be in the WNBA, where there's no guarantee that she'll last in WNBA. She's a superstar at LSU. She will be I love Angel. I hate the criticism that she gets. Last couple of years, she will be a role player in the WNBA. That's not a guarantee that she will last long in the WNBA. She's a superstar at LSU. There's your difference right now. These girls are superstar players.
You don't think her post game will show it in the
too small
in the WNBA?
I said it in the group chat today.
To play the four.
I said it in the
She
group
will
chat
do
today.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
She'll do okay because here's the thing: you have girls in the WNBA that will body her.
Yeah.
If you're physical, which South Carolina has excelled the last 2 years against Angel Reese and LSU. If you can out physical Angel Reese, you can take her out of her game. And the WNBA has some girl.
They're all about physicality.
Not just they have some women that will out physical Angel Reese, and that's where I look at it and say she will be a role player in the WNBA. She's a superstar at LSU and Baton Rouge.
So we were talking about this in the group chat today, John. I looked at a mock draft for WNBA. Angel Reese is mocked to go eighth.
Correct.
There's 7 women's college basketball players better than Angel Reese.
Cardoso's predicted to go
at least as far as how they feel they're going to transition to the WNBA game. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
A talent like hers should be a top 5 player in any draft, without question. You can work on building the rest of her body, but
I can agree with you. But again, what I just said is where the fear of Angel in the WNBA has in the back of my head, where maybe 8th is probably are there girls better than her in college in women's college basketball there's 7 other girls better than her? No, I agree with you. But wait, that's college basketball. how will they translate to the WNBA where you're playing against grown women now? It's the same thing we're talking about in men's college basketball, where they go, you look at it and say, there's a great college basketball player, but then they go against grown men, and they're not
or the game don't translate. Look at Luka Garza, national player, college national player of the year, not even barely on a team.
I'll go one step further for a name that we may have forgotten. How about Adam Morrison?
Yeah,
Morrison did not translate to the NBA very well.
He did not.
But he was outstanding college basketball player, that he just didn't make it in the NBA. I don't know if that's what Angel Reese would do. Again, so do I think being 8th pick is right for her? Yeah, I do. I think it should be the 8th pick. And eventually, I hate to say it, I hope when she goes to the WNBA, I hope I'm wrong that she excels, because I always want my LSU Tigers to succeed very well.
Yeah.
But I just think that how she is, she will get bodied. They will body her in the WNBA, and she's going to get her game thrown off, and won't be able to do the things that make her great at LSU that much in the WNBA.
Yeah, she's going to develop a mid-range game to be successful at the next level.
Because Aaliyah Boston had some time to adjust, and she's a bigger, thicker girl than Angel Reese. She's all about physicality, and she was getting roughed up in the beginning until she, started dishing it out herself. So yeah, I hear you on that, John.
Jonathan, 2 quick questions for you. Real quick, let's just brief your takeaway from the first weekend in baseball.
Well, I like how the Detroit Tigers have started out. I'm going to make that kind of a point of emphasis, as they were my sleeper team of 2024. They're starting out really well. I think I'm looking at 4-0. Again, I'll take consideration who they played against, and I know it wasn't great competition who they faced, to start out the year. But you still got to win the game. You still got to be able to do your job. So, and beating the Chicago White Sox, and how they did it was with pitching. And that one thing that's a little bit surprising, because there was some question marks on the pitching staff as a whole start the season out, how they were going to handle that going forward. They did really well so far. They're pitching really well against. Again, I know the White Sox are not a world beater. They're an offense that you can sit there and say that's a huge win. But and where my concern is, they scored 16 runs against the White Sox, whereas my Atlanta Braves today scored 9 runs in one game against the White Sox. So the offense is going to have to pick it up for Detroit a little bit more. But I think that's a good start for Detroit, being kind of where they were at. I think you can throw Pittsburgh in there. Pittsburgh's 5-0 all of a sudden, so they're in the division is kind of wide open. In the NL Central, looking at it right now, that you have the 2 blue bloods of the division, the Cardinals and Cubs. Sorry, Nick, are in 5th and 4th place in that division. But the Pirates,
we're 2-2. We're 2-2.
You're still in 4th place. Still in 4th place in the division.
Not even a week.
The Pirates being 5-0 and again playing really good right now, it kind of makes things a little bit interesting to see how they can sustain and can carry that out. The Brewers 3-0 and the Reds 3-1. So are we talking about the NL Central possibly being one of the best divisions in the National League? Very much so. You have some surprises, but you have some teams that have jumped out and have done really well to start the opening weekend. And the question mark for some of these teams, like the Pirates, like the Brewers, can they sustain it? Again, I'll throw the Tigers in there as well. Can they sustain this success to start out the year and be able to elevate themselves to be a surprise team in 2024? That's going to be the big question as we move forward into the season.
All right. We'll see. And then you guys are in first place. You coached them up all the way in first place. What do we got going on the rest of the week before we get you out of here?
Yeah, we had some we had some good fortune for us. We were able to take back the top of the division. We're half a game in second place, a half a game behind the first place team, Northern Oklahoma College and Enid. We played one less game than them, so that's where the half is so far. But we have a 2-game lead in our division. The team that was tied with us, they had a pretty tough weekend. So we got a little bit of control right now. So we've traveled to Pine Bluff, Arkansas tomorrow for a non-conference game, a little bit midweek action. And then we're back in conference against National Park College from Hot Springs, Arkansas over the weekend. So we're in good shape right now. I like where we're at with our schedule, kind of lighting up a little bit for us, and be able to kind of build and work on some of the things that we need to continue to work on, and getting ourselves amped up and ready for that latter half of the schedule, where we do face the third and second place teams in the division in the last couple of weeks from there. So I'm very, very confident where we're at right now, and I'm loving how the boys are preparing themselves. It was good practice tonight. Kind of, a little bit of a lighthearted practice, kind of getting themselves in a rhythm again, keeping it going. But I'm excited to see where we're at and what we're going to do this week, and continue to hopefully get another sweep and build ourselves up to where if we're able to do that, we'll be above 500 for our overall record for the first time this year. We had a very tough non-conference schedule to start the season out, put us in a bit of a hole overall record-wise, and we dug ourselves out of that. With our conference schedule, and we're on the verge of potentially getting above 500 for as a overall record, and potentially get to 20 wins if we are able to handle business the next few games. We can be at 20 wins, like I said, above 500, and get ourselves in a good position moving forward the rest of the season.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Let's go. Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on and talking a little baseball, and taking them up comments as they were going to come to you regardless. So
I don't shy away from it. Again, like I said, if my team loses, I'm here no matter what. I'll face the music for it. And my boys they've been giving me hell for my Tigers losing to Arkansas baseball. I'll face the music on it, and we'll come back stronger, ready to go for next season. Then.
Hey, there you go. Hey, we appreciate you, Jonathan. We'll see you next Monday. And hopefully my Cubs won't be in fourth place. So you won't take a low hanging fruit at me.
And hopefully the Guardians just keep going. All
right, we'll see you later, brother. We'll catch you later. Best of luck to y'all.
See you, John.
See y'all.
Before we get up out of here, we'll go ahead and Sam, start us off with your final thoughts here.
Exciting month. Got my birthday this month, the 14th. I've got an interview with the Just Fans boys with the Hall of Fame journalist and NFL, John McClain, that I get to take part of next Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've met that guy twice, and he is just excellent. Absolutely excellent. And making a little trip up to Detroit April 25th. So for the draft. So I got a big month planned. So super excited about that. And the Guardians are trying to lose this game. And other than that, April's an exciting month for your boy. So
there you go. Johnny, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. Another fun show here on a Thursday night.
I'm your favorite.
Happy to be able to join, after the way I was feeling last week. So it was fun. Like I said, good show. Always like having, being on with Jonathan and Jim. So no, looking forward to Thursday. Not, like I said, I'm looking forward to you having to drink that shake, but not so much looking forward to watching you drink that shake, because I don't know. You're saying I don't know how it may make me queasy and shit watching you drink that, because that's for it. No, I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad I'll be able to shave this down a bit, because I didn't lose that damn bet. But man, just like I said, a lot of stuff going on at LTS, and again, the pinstripe perspective. I'm taking this West Coast trip off, so I'll do a recap of the Arizona series on Thursday when they have their off day, and then right back at it with all the post game shows starting again on Friday night. So looking forward to it. I'm having fun with that, man. It's only about 10-15 minutes. I'll give you a quick recap and my thoughts and my perspective of what happened that night in Yankee baseball.
Hell yeah. Real quick, please check out my show with Brad Tate.
Yeah, you've been slinging it lately.
But
I appreciate it. It was
you're on a roll, man. You're doing great, bro.
I appreciate it. It was a great show.
He's on a roll. You're rooting the no. No,
I really enjoyed talking to him. If you missed out, great insight, just in life, like just life stuff. So it was great.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of life stuff, shout out to my son. Today is turned 14. And there's some things as a parent, like when you get your kid a gift and you see like this joy upon them. Like, you know, when you're getting it for them, like, man, I think he's really going to enjoy this. I gifted my son tickets to his first NBA game. We're going to go see the Grizzlies and Lakers play next Friday. And
hopefully LeBron actually plays.
Yeah,
well, it's the Grizzlies, so he'll play. It's the Grizzlies.
Yeah. So, but when he opened up his card and like looked at the ticket, like I didn't give him the ticket, but it was just like, you know, the thing that the banner and things like that. And he is like looking at it and he was like, had this big smile on his face, like, oh, are you like kind of like, are you fucking serious? Like kind of, you know, just and I just kind of smiled and he had a big old smile on his face. It's, you know, one of them few things where as a parent where you're like,
so true.
You feel good. You feel good. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. You feel like, hey, you know what? No matter what, this kid's going to remember this for the rest of his life.
Yep.
You know,
facts.
Like, and you get to take part of it. And you're just like, you know, like I've done a lot of shady shit in my life and bad shit, but this one I did all right in. So, and you know, he appreciated, and when they appreciate it, you know what I mean? Like, and for him, I feel like he really appreciated it, was excited about it. So, because sometimes you think they're excited and you get excited, then you take them there and they ain't excited, and that's the worst fucking feeling. Like, yes, y'all would like this. Oh no, we did. We just, you know, he's not as excited as I think he would be, but he's super stoked about it.
That's a good one, man. Good job, bro.
So we're gonna try to get there either early or stay late. He wants to try to get, you know, he's like, I gotta bring something to get autographs, or he wants, you know, try to get autographs. So we got to figure that part out. But
that's awesome, bro.
Nonetheless, happy birthday to the boy Jaden, 14 years old today.
14.
So
nice.
He's 14, thinking he's damn near 20. So you got to smack him around every once in a while. So other than that, we'll be back Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. So be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. You guys know what to do. Johnny, hit that outro and
Thanks
you have a
so
good
much
night.
for
Hawkeyes,
joining
baby.
us, and until next time, let's talk